Fred here from Pro Tennis Trading. Hope you're well. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the difference between trading WTA and ATP matches. I've seen a few comments on some recent videos about how I trade WTA. Of course, if you take my course, you'll be able to see the differences in the approach between the two WTA and ATP, especially if you take my Platinum Traders service, which run through the Grand Slams. Okay, so if we take a look at yesterday's WTA trading matches, now I am focusing on the ATP throughout the French Open, purely because of the reasons that will become clear during this video. However, I do still trade a lot of WTA as it offers lots of good trading opportunities. So in this match, Jabeur was the favourite in starting, so her price at the beginning of the match was 1.22. Now she dropped this first set, so of course I would have been looking at adopting a drifting favourite strategy. Now the first thing to obviously look for in the in-play analysis is how this first set was won or lost. So we can see that although Gauff dropped this first set, she won she had two clean service holds, one slightly dodgy one at the first one, and then one break, taking it to 3-4. But as you can see, what we've got to look at here, particularly with WTA, which differs a lot on average, not in every match, between WTA and ATP, is not only looking at the service holds, but how these service holds were won. So we can see here, we went to deuce in this first service game of the first set, 1, 2, 3 times. Second service game, pretty straightforward. Third one, straightforward. Now the fourth one, was broken, but we still went to deuce 1, 2, 3 times. And this hold here, finally, when she was already a breakdown, 1, so twice with the 2 break points. So a bit messy, but of course you've got to weigh up. She is the clear favourite here. So on the face of it, that's not a direct no trade signal. So of course we've got to go over and take a look at the stats. So first set stats from Gauff versus Jabeur. Now Jabeur has historically been one of my favourite trading players, as she provides lots of opportunities. 3 aces from Gauff, 1 double fault, not too bad. Lowest first serve percentage, 58% versus 75% from Jabeur. Now this is an impressive stat from Jabeur. First service points won 94% versus 72%. Now if you've seen a lot of my other in-play analysis videos, you'll know that this is a key stat that I always look at and is a great indicator of strength of character, and this is break points saved. So Gauff saved 4 out of 5 break points. So that really works in her favour, and giving the green light to go ahead with a second set trade. Winners versus unforced errors. Gauff is looking a bit dodgy here, 14 unforced errors versus 10, and of course Jabeur had 12 winners versus 5. However, total points won, 45% from Gauff, 55% from Jabeur, and the fact that Gauff was the clear favourite in this one, this was a green light to go ahead with a second set trade. However, the difference is, and we'll have a look at some stats in just a moment, if this was an ATP, then this would be a no trade match because of these stats. Now the fact we had the breakpoint saved might have just edged it, but generally, unless it was a player I was really confident in, this wouldn't be a green light for an ATP, but would be for a WTA because of the general difference in their stats. So let's see how the second set played out. It was pretty straightforward for the first 2 service games, but then it got a bit messy, and this is typical of WTA. We got the break, and you would hope we're going to get confirmation of the break, which we didn't. But then we had another break back. It was all a little bit messy. So of course the approach is more of a hybrid approach or a sit back approach in the second sets with the WTA matches. So if we go over and take a look at the stats. Now of course you can get lots of different stats all over the internet, but for just a a sort of basic overview. If you're looking for particular stats about a particular area, I do suggest ChatGPT. Some of the data is slightly outdated. However, as long as we're sort of in the last sort of, 2 to 5 years, the stats haven't really changed that much. Beyond sort of 5 or 10 years ago, yes, the game of tennis has changed, and of course the stats have changed quite a bit. But for the purpose of this, ChatGPT has come up with some quite sensible points here, so let's just go through a couple of these. So first serve percentage. WTA players generally have a slightly lower first serve percentage compared to ATP counterparts, averaging around 60%, and this is up to 70% with ATP. Aces. WTA players hit fewer aces on average. Of course, we do have big servers. Yeah, Serena Williams and Pliskova. Slightly outdated there, but that's fine. First serve points won. The percentage of first serve points won on the WTA tour is generally lower than the ATP, with top players winning around 70% of their first serve points. Service games won. Top players will win approximately 75 to 80% of their service games, which is slightly lower than the ATP average. So we can see a trend here. And of course, with trading, what we want is high numbers of first serve points going in, and of course, service games won. So key differences. Serve speed, no surprise. ATP players generally have faster serves, contributing to higher ace counts and more unreturnable serves. Now the second serve is often a point of vulnerability, it says, in the WTA, with many players winning around 45 to 50% of second serve points, compared to around 55 to 60% on the ATP Tour. Now that is quite significant, which of course is a high contributory factor to the lower number of service games won. Return of serve. So the return game is stronger in the WTA. Now this of course is no surprise with the fact that the serves are slower. So these key differences highlight the varying styles and strategies prevalent in men's and women's tennis. ATP Tour focuses on more power and serve dominance, while the WTA Tour balances between serve and return play, leading to different statistical profiles in their matches. Okay, so basically it's proven what we suspected, or certainly knew from looking at stats and also trading matches. The men's game is much stronger, but the key point here is the difference in approach that we take when we're looking to trade WTA matches towards trading ATP.
Now, if you found this video useful, then please do check out my YouTube channel for loads more videos and subscribe to be notified of when I upload new videos. And if you'd like to become a successful tennis trader, then you can start your journey by enrolling on my free video course, An Introduction into Tennis Trading, at protennistrader.com. And you can also grab a free copy of my ebook, Tennis Trading, the Ultimate Guide to Getting Started. I'll see you soon.